Hello students, I am Sanap KB from Department of Physics of RBNB College, Shrirampur. This is my lecture number 3 on the topic number 15, Structure of Atoms and Nuclei, for the subject Physics for the class 12 Science. In previous lecture, we saw about the Bohr's atomic model and we explained that 3 postulates, that is postulate number 1, postulate number 2 and postulate number 3. Again we saw about the expression for radius of Bohr's orbit and expression for energy of Bohr's orbit. Okay. Now we also explained that the energy level diagram for a hydrogen atom and some important definitions concerned with that one, and we obtain that Rydberg's formula. And now today we are going to see some limitations of Bohr's model, that is article number 15.63. Now in that Bohr's model explains only the line spectra of hydrogen atom only, means explanation of line spectra for other atoms could not explain with the help of this Bohr's model. Means there are again some spectra of different components that cannot explained with the help of this theory. Then second one, the intensity of that emission line spectra, means there is a difference intensities of this line spectra and that not explained why they are different intensities for line spectra. And third one, there is no theoretical side to explain these 3 postulates of Bohr's theory. These are main 3 limitations of this Bohr's atomic model. And now we see the next article, that is de Broglie's explanation, that is a 15.64. De Broglie's explanation. Now already we saw that second postulate of Bohr's theory, that electrons revolve in circular those orbits which angular momentum is integral multiple of, that is mvr is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. For these values of orbits, electron can revolve through that orbit. Now here this de Broglie's explained that the dual nature of light. Already we studied that light have dual nature, that is wave nature as well as particle nature. That is the photoelectric effect shows the particle nature of light, and now diffraction, refraction, that shows the wave nature of a light. And now he also explained that de Broglie's wavelength de Broglie's wavelength is equals to that h upon 2 pi. De Broglie's wavelength is equals to h upon p, that is a linear momentum, that is a h upon mv. Now this is the de Broglie's hypothesis, and now when these electrons revolve in circular orbit, they performs wave nature also. Means suppose this is an electron, and then when these electrons revolve in circular orbit, now it propagates the wave, that is the nature of wave. Now here we explain this wave nature of that revolve electrons from this figure, just like a standing wave, that is a stationary wave. You know that stationary wave, suppose this string is stretched between these two supports, rigid supports, then wave travels like this one, then from that point it get reflected and standing or stationary wave set up on the string like this one. And like this one, when this electron revolving in a circular orbit, that performs that standing wave or vibrations in a pipe. Already we studied that in a resonance experiment and so on. Now here see the standing electron wave for fourth orbit of an atom here. Now here this is the orbit. Now take here the 4 parts and divide it again here, and starting from this one we draw that this wave. Now after a reflection, then like this one standing wave set up on this circular orbit. This shows that the wave nature of a light here. Now we mathematically explain this principle with the help of these de Broglie's wavelength. Now here see the first one, that length of first orbit is equal to that 1 de Broglie wavelength. 1 de Broglie's wavelength means here see this center, and now this is the first orbit, that n is equal to 1 here. At that time r be the radius of this circular orbit, then length of orbit is equal to 2 pi r, that is the circumference, is equal to 1 de Broglie wavelength. Suppose this is the lambda 1 for first orbit. Now here for nth orbit we get the nth orbit. Now this length of that nth orbit will be 2 pi r n is equal to n lambda n, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now this is the length of nth orbit, that is the circumference, is equal to that integral multiple of de Broglie's wavelength here. Now from this de Broglie's hypothesis we obtain this wavelength for nth orbit is equal to h upon pn. P is the linear momentum, h is the Planck constants, and lambda n is the de Broglie's wavelength here. Now we write this equation as h upon that linear momentum mv n for nth orbit. Okay, now suppose this is a equation 2, and now here we get this one is the equation 1, that is a length of nth Bohr orbit. Okay, now we can explain here that Bohr's second postulates. Now putting the value of that lambda n, putting value of lambda n from equation 2 in equation 1, we get that 2 pi r n is equal to n into the value of this h divided by Pn here. Okay, now we get that Pn Rn is equal to Nh upon 2 pi. P will be here and this 2 pi comes to here. Then Nh upon 2 pi. You know this linear momentum that will be m phi r n here is equal to nh divided by 2 pi. This is the mathematical statement of this Bohr's second postulate. Okay, in this way we can explain this Bohr's second postulate with the help of this de Broglie's hypothesis. That hypothesis is like one, that de Broglie's wavelength is equal to h upon Pn, that is Pn is the linear momentum. Now in this way easily we can explain that one again angular momentum. This term will be that LRN. In similar way we can explain this principle or de Broglie's hypothesis related to that Bohr's second postulate. Okay, now here we can finish this small article. That is first one, we studied that some limitations of Bohr's atomic model and explanation of de Broglie's wavelength or de Broglie's hypothesis to explain the Bohr's second postulates. Okay, we can stop here.